It's been 10 years since a gunman opened fire at a Tucson grocery store, a day that forever changed our community. Thank you for joining us. I'm Valerie Cavazos.
And I'm Pat Paris. To honor the victims, a bell-ringing ceremony took place this morning at 10:10, the exact time the first shots were fired on that day.
But because of COVID-19, the ceremony was closed to the public. More than a dozen were injured, including then Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. 6 people killed. Gabe Zimmerman, one of Giffords' staffers. U.S. District Judge John Roll, Dorothy Morris, Dorwin Stoddard, Phyllis Schneck, and Christina Taylor Green, who would be turning 19 this year. To some people who survived the January 8th shooting, those moments of violence changed their life's direction.
9 on your side's Craig Smith talked with a woman whose quick thinking kept the shooting from being even worse and who works now to prevent new gun violence.
We call this day an anniversary because we really don't have a better word. To Pat Maisch, anniversary suggests celebration. To her, January 8th is the day on the calendar when her life and many others took a terrible turn.
And I think it's kind of a slap in the face and a kick in the gut for people who have had their loved ones taken at such an event. Like you, I think I have anniversary as a good thing, a happy thing.
We talked at the park named for a child full of potential, cut short January 8th, 2011. Christina Taylor Green, 9 years old when she was shot to death. Had she lived, she would be college age today. Pat Maisch is modest about the way she helped save lives 10 years ago. When 2 men knocked down the gunman, she snatched away his extra ammunition before he could reload and kill more. Since the shooting, Pat Maisch has dedicated her life to saving lives in other ways. She says grief propels her to work for safer gun laws that still preserve the Second Amendment. And she feels fresh grief when she learns of each new shooting, whether it involves many victims or one.
We don't think about the individual shootings because they don't get any press, or we tend not to think about it. But I've met people that have horrific stories from their dead children, their dead parents, their dead sister or brother, and I think, I wonder when I'm going to meet them. You know, in the work of gun violence prevention causes, when will I meet them and know more about their story?
Maisch says each new mass shooting pushes Tucson's farther out of the nation's memory, but she values Tucson's January 8th memorial as a remembrance of the people killed and how Tucson pulled together in the face of darkness. Craig Smith, KGUN 9 on your side.
And Gabrielle Giffords tweeting about the remembrance today. She said in part, 10 years ago, my life and my community changed forever. I was shot in the head. 6 people were killed, 12 others injured. But the attack did not break me or the people I represented in Congress. We came together, turned pain into purpose, and found hope in each other. Giffords added that her heart is with those who died, saying, their memories are a blessing that keeps me going even when times are tough.
Giffords' husband, Senator Mark Kelly, also tweeting his thoughts today, saying, Gabby knows that when we serve each other and work together, our community thrives. The January 8th shooting robbed our community of 6 family members, friends, and loved ones. And Tucson showed us how resilient we are and that we would not be defined by the horrific act that day. Senator added that while this day is always difficult, this year feels different after the violence on Capitol Hill this week.
And President-elect Joe Biden issued a statement about the 10th anniversary. He said, in the decades since, too many families have lost a loved one to gun violence. He praised Giffords for her voice in the gun safety reform movement. He added, as president, I pledge to continue to work together with Congresswoman Giffords and with survivors, families, and advocates across the country to defeat the NRA and end the epidemic of gun violence in America.